Evening, freaks. I'm here to give you reads straight from the hip with lots of lip, and I'm diving back into that great black conjunction reading series. And we're going to be looking at what's coming up in this cycle for Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or a packed fifth house. 3 or more planets in the fifth house, a stellium or a really strong placement in the fifth house, and you'll probably find some resonance with this message. This is a collective reading, okay? Cross watcher energy can also come in, roles can be reversed, so keep an open mind in receiving these reads. Maybe not every message is for you, but if you engage your intuition, if you allow your own inner knowing to decipher how the overarching themes are applying in your individual situation, you're going to make best use of what comes through. I let the messages come on through that want to come on through. Sometimes a really specific message comes through, and I know that it's not for everybody. It's for like some person out there who really needs to hear those words at that time. So my job as a reader is to get the hell out of the way, okay? It's not about me. It's about what needs to come through for you. So if something isn't for you, just set it aside. Take what resonates, drop the rest, okay? When I call out the astrological signs in the reading, that's for any strong placement. So don't get too hung up on that, all right? I like to provide it because people do like to know what's going on, but I really only call in the signs when there's a court card on the board, because the court cards are the significators for who the actual players in this situation are, okay? Otherwise, I don't bother with it. I don't bring it in all the time unless it's coming in as sort of a reinforcing element of a court card that already came in. I don't like to complicate too much with that stuff. You should take it with a grain of salt, okay? Because it could be that the person you're dealing with is exhibiting the qualities of that particular sign, okay? So, just tune into the themes. Again, don't get too hung up, but sometimes it can really hit the nail on the head. So it's nice to bring that piece in. It's really nice to bring that piece in. Like, share, subscribe, help a broad out. I want to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed to the channel, who show up for the lives, who drop your comments, who shared the videos, who told other people about the channel. I'm new here, and I've only been at this for like a year now, and it's been a lot of exploration. It's been a lot of trial and error, just finding how I want to bring my voice forward in working with this medium, because, how we bring our voice forward is really important. And I feel like I'm starting to get in my flow. I'm starting to get in my rhythm. And it's been really cool to have those of you along for the ride. And I've really been feeling the support. I really appreciate it. I'm so very grateful for it. And I'm really grateful as well to those of you who've reached out and gotten personal readings with me. I love doing the personal reads, and I am going to have a holiday special coming up on that, so I'll let you all know about that when I figure it out. But thank you so much. I just don't ever want to lose that piece of gratitude for all your support, because, the truth is I can show up here and I can do these readings, but you all are a big part of building momentum with the channel, and I'm very grateful for that support. So thank you so much, okay? Let's dive into it. Let's see what's coming up in this great black conjunction for you all, Leo. We did already have the first in this 2-week period of this great black conjunction sandwich come in back on the 16th, I believe it was. Yes, the 16th. On the 17th, following that, we had Black Moon Lilith square Eris. Okay, so that really intense energy there, okay? And then we have another great black conjunction coming up on November 30th to close out this cycle. And of course, in between all that, we had the Sagittarius stellium new moon, and there's a lot of action going on with that. Meanwhile, Mars is retrograde still. We still have the last remnants of this big cycle we've been through with healing the shadow, the wound of the self, with that Chiron and Aries action that's been with us, and stepping out of the heaviness of all the plutonic excavation of the wounds of the past, and we're doing our final integrating. A lot is awakening on the inner planes right now. It's a lot more subtle stuff. It's a lot more about what you're feeling and coming to the awareness of feelings that you didn't know were there. Having certain things illuminated for you that were places where you felt very confused or lacking clarity. There's this more realistic view coming forward. I'm really getting that, this realistic view, moving out of a place of worry or confusion into a place of more certainty. And a lot of this is informed and based on the subtler realms, the energetic realms, what you're feeling coming up, where your energy is feeling pulled and where it feels repelled, and where emotionally things feel aligned, and what excites you and what makes you want to withdraw. You're really paying attention to this. You're getting in touch with your intuition. That's a big part of this cycle. I did get a very specific download that came in initially for Leo Collective, and I really feel like this might not be everybody's situation, but it was a very like repetitive and persistent kind of message coming through, so I want to make sure I deliver it. I feel like some of you out there are in a position where you're looking at some kind of surgical procedure. I got two different takes on this. One of these was that it's what you think is a real necessary procedure. You've been stressed out a bit about the finances, like how am I going to be able to come up with the money to do this? I feel like where it's a necessity, that you get this procedure, you're going to have the money you need to do that. It will come through. Try not to stress yourself out so much about this. For those of you that are like looking at some kind of discotomy, some kind of like back surgery that you need to get, you might actually want to get a second opinion, and you might want to go and see like an occupational therapist. Have them look at your workstation. There's something you're doing repetitive. It has something to do with the way you're moving your body, or it's not best supported. And so it's actually a lot of what you're feeling, a lot of the discomfort, the pain patterns in your body are caused by something that you're doing with poor body mechanics. And if you work with an occupational therapist, they can help you get things set up in a better way, where you might not actually need this surgery. It's just about unlearning patterns, okay? This piece came in, but there is this need to like get a second opinion. I feel like there's something that needs to shift in this situation. There's something that's a little murky, like it's not quite right. I think it'll become clearer for you as we move out of this cycle. After the close of November, as we start to move into December, you're gonna have a clearer idea of how to proceed in this matter. But I do feel like there's some kind of like surgical procedure that's on deck. For some of you, this is dental work. You hate the dentist, like you're really freaked out about going to see the dentist and having this work done. You're also super stressed out because you have to get a procedure that, it's pricey. It's pricey, and your insurance covers such a small portion of it. I also have this piece that there's a lot of cosmetic surgery consideration as well. Some of you are considering altering something cosmetically. This could absolutely be with dental. This could be with like dental implants. Some of you may be considering going to Mexico to get this work done, to get the dental work done, because you can get a more affordable rate there. And like I said, your insurance doesn't cover it, and so you have to kind of find a workaround. Again, the money will be available. I see this, like the money will come through that will help facilitate what's necessary. Some of you are wanting to change something about your body contours. You know, some of you might be considering breast implants or doing something along the lines of changing a particular feature of yours, which actually is something that makes you uniquely you and is actually something that a lot of people consider striking or beautiful about you because it's what makes you stand out, but it's something you've always had an insecurity about. And so you've been considering altering this, changing this. There's this message coming through about in terms of cosmetic procedures. Just take your time before moving forward with something like that because you might actually really regret it, or the possibility is you might not be prepared, especially when it really is something that changes dramatically the way your face looks, for example. You might not be prepared for the emotional backlash that comes with that and like integrating that experience. And this might not have been a piece you've considered with this procedure before, this psychological aspect, how it could affect you. Okay. So there's something about getting a second opinion. There's something about looking into different options before you dive into getting a surgery, in particular if it's related to something going on with your disc, with back pain. I'm getting like a strong hit that like an occupational therapist would be very beneficial in this case, where they can come in, they can see your your workstation, they can go over body mechanics with you, they can get things set up to better support you. And combining this with like some proper training, core strengthening, and really working it with the stabilizing muscles. I'm getting this. I don't know why this came in so strong, but it did. It can really turn your health around, okay? So don't be so quick to jump into anything. And if you can buy a little time, like until we hit December, I think you'll have a clearer idea of the best way to proceed here. But don't be so quick to jump into anything, okay? All right, so now let's see what else is in store for Leo Collective, Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or Pact, 5th house. Give me an idea what's coming up for the Leo Collective spirit during this great black conjunction. What do they need to know? How can they align with their new chapter moving forward? What are the things that they need to see that maybe they're not presently aware of? Ooh, okay. Those all wanted to come out together. Let's see what we got here. I feel like a lot of you Leos are dealing with an ending of some kind of living situation, or something has been destabilized in a living situation, or potentially within business. But I feel it can be both, actually. So let me tell two different stories here, okay? Because I see both very clearly. We have the first card here is the Empress, okay? And this is all about manifesting what you want to see happen in your life, having the strength and ability to do that. It's all the things that you've nurtured and you've poured your time and your energy into. It's about giving birth to life, giving birth to a new life. It certainly can be motherhood, okay? It can be wanting to have a baby. It can be finding out that you are pregnant, that you are going to have a baby. It can also be moving into a really creative time in your life when you want to birth an idea, birth a vision. And this is something that is going to bring a lot of abundance. It's going to be very fruitful, very prosperous. It's also going to be fulfilling, gratifying, because it's the work that you're meant to do. And it has you rising into a place of people really acknowledging your work, acknowledging what you have to offer, and understanding your value. Now, I see that there's been something that has been cut off. Something has been cut off in this process, in this situation. For those of you who miscarried, who found out that you were with child and you miscarried, or where you were with a partner that was not on board with having a baby, and you learned that you wouldn't be able to move forward in that partnership because having a child is really important to you. Or there's a third way to look at this as well, and I like to bring in all the possibilities to help those who need to connect with the messages they need to receive. Or you really want to have children. This is something that is very important to you, and you found out that you and your person just were not on the same page, and it created an ending in the relationship, okay? An ending in the connection. And so in some way, there's been some kind of loss, and it's loss around what was expected to be birthed, what was expected to be brought forward. And in some cases, this is around a child, absolutely. And there's been some kind of heartache there. We see that with the Three of Swords coming in with the King of Swords, okay, with this Empress energy. I also want to say that it's possible you could be dealing with a Libra, and I say that because King of Swords is air sign collective energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and the Empress is considered a significator card for Libra as well, and Three of Swords is also a Libra card. So Libra factoring very strongly in your reading here. There could be a possibility that you have Libra strongly aspected in your chart. It could also be that you are dealing with a Libra and there is a sense of heartache around this because something has been cut off. Maybe there's been an ending in your connection with a Libra. You're not on the same page. You're at odds. There's a rift. There's a separation. It could be in a romantic sense. It could also be in relation to a business project as well. Okay, I say that because after this we have the 10 of Pentacles. Now, this certainly could be that you're in a serious romantic relationship. You were building a future with this person, and then you found out, oh my gosh, we're not on the same page. You know, this is not going to grow the way I thought it would. And it's a really tough blow because you invested a lot of your time and your energy in this connection. And since you're living together, it makes things complicated. There's some kind of separation happening. It in some way affects the finances. It also affects the home life, the home stability. There's some kind of ending, some kind of closure of cycle here. And the closing of this cycle actually brings success, even though it may feel like a reversal initially, okay? This could also be you were partnering with an air sign energy, Libra, front and center. You were in business with this person. You were building something together. It was some kind of business partnership. And there's been a severing of that bond. You decided to go your own way. I think there was something in this situation that was unhealthy, though, with the devil here. In terms of work, in terms of a business partnership, it feels like it's a binding agreement where you really felt trapped and stuck. And in that case, I feel like you're stepping into this big Empress energy where you're like, you know what? I can go my own way. I don't need to work with another. I don't need to partner with another in order to get my 10 of Pentacles. I can make that happen for myself. This is like bossing up. And it's also being very clear and decisive, you know, not being emotional, really weighing things out with that Libra energy, okay? Finding the balancing point, saying, okay, I know what I need to cut off, being very decisive. It's interesting. It's interesting because look at this. I didn't mean to hold it up like that, but I turned that Empress around. Like, I know what I need to cut off, man. I know what I need to walk away from, okay? This is powerful. It also could be like the Libra in this situation walked away, okay? Either way, there was some kind of dynamic here that was toxic, and it felt very binding. I'm picking up this binding energy, you know? There's some kind of connection here that's unhealthy. There's a codependency or some kind of, it feels like it feels binding. It feels like a binding. I keep saying binding in some cases. There's been some kind of binding work done potentially. Somebody was bound. Maybe somebody's messing around on that level. I'm going to get a clarification on that actually. But let me follow through with this here, okay? But we see there's been something to cause separation, disruption in a home. I could see this as somebody could have been doing some workings against somebody to break up their home if they were in a relationship. Libra energy front and center, okay? I don't know what side you're on in that situation, okay? But it does look like there's something coming up around that. Like, if you know people who run in those kind of circles, this could be somebody did some kind of working, all right? I think, this is the thing though, like, you can't bind an Empress. So if you tried to if you were the one, or if you, have strong Libra in your chart, and somebody tried to do binding work against you, like, you can't bind an Empress. You can't. This Libra is showing up as an Empress. That's somebody who has done the work. They've integrated all 4 queens. You can't bind that kind of energy, because if in any kind of binding, there has to be some energetic agreement. Like, okay, I'm going to take on that energy, and an Empress don't take on that kind of energy. So I don't see that this would be effective, okay? But this is kind of front and center here. This is kind of front and center here. I feel like potentially this Empress energy cut off this devil energy. That's what I'm feeling. Cut off this devil energy. Okay, so in a magical working case, I'm picking up that this won't work. This will be overcome. What's this crossing energy here? Woo-hoo-hoo! Tower. Okay? Yeah, wow. That's powerful. And for the world to come up after that, successful completion, this is somebody's message where somebody was trying to break up a happy home, and there's some Libra in the mix. There's an Empress in the mix. Could be other air sign energy. It could also be a mother, okay? Like a mother figure trying to break up, somebody's happy home that they have with their baby mama or something along these kind of lines. There's a big wake-up call, and a tower is going to fall for whoever has been interfering. Pick what side you're on. This shit is going to be exposed, and it's going to be a rough fucking landing, okay? Rough landing. For others where you don't know people who run in those circles, I still feel the same energy applies. Somebody interfering, trying to come in between a couple that live together. There's some kind of disruption in this situation. There's some kind of betrayal. Something's being exposed. Something's coming to light. And with it coming in at the Great Black Conjunction, this is an awakening moment. So for those that are feeling that message, just know, whoever has been operating on that level, like, that shit's going to get called out. The tower's going to fall. And the Empress will come out successful, okay? I am going to get some clarification on that. This could also involve King of Cups, okay? So that's water sign energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Woo! Oh, the Magician. Somebody did a fucking working here. Somebody did a working. This message is coming in real strong. Somebody did a working. Somebody did a working in this situation, and it's going to backfire. It is going to backfire hardcore. I want to do a cut of the deck energy on this. Oh, I'm speaking the truth though. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords. This is a very strong Libra card. There is a Libra in this situation. And it looks like this Libra's got celebration coming in after them and a preserving of the home. So I don't know. I'm getting the memo. Unless you have strong Libra in your chart. Maybe you're the one who's been trying to interfere with something that's actually earmarked for somebody else. Or maybe you've been trying to cause some kind of disruption in their situation. Or maybe some King of Cups has been creating this scenario, okay? There's somebody here who's been trying to cause disruption in some kind of committed connection where two people are building with each other. Again, this could be in a business situation, all right? It could be in a business situation, but there's some kind of interference, some kind of thwarting work, and it's caused a lot of heartache. It's also caused a lot of delays, okay? Three of Swords is about a lot of delays. So this could also be somebody trying to like act as like a block to somebody's success, like interfering with their success. Doesn't have to be magically. It can come through other ways. There's hope coming through in this situation, okay? Something's going to be illuminated here with the Star. I do recommend spiritual cleansing baths, whatever side you're on, even if you were doing workings and maybe you didn't know what you were working with and you may have actually done something that was more binding in nature that you really shouldn't have done, or you hired somebody to do something for you, you know, either way. Or if you feel like some kind of energy like this has been directed your way, I highly recommend spiritual cleansing baths with that Star energy, you know. 2 cups baking soda, 2 cups sea salt. From there, trust your intuition, trust the guidance comes through and what you need to do. Yeah, woo! I don't know, man. Look at this. The betrayal energy is coming in with the fire sign energy. Page of Wands, 5 of Swords. Do some spiritual cleansing. I don't know. I got a feeling like there's some kind of working that backfired here, or something you were involved in that's kind of backfiring. I don't, you know, I don't like to give these kind of messages. Let me do a cut of deck energy. I'm sorry, man. Justice. This is Libra's card too. I don't know what's going on here, but this is justice. This is balancing the scales. This is karmic. Something happening in your situation is really karmic right now. I do suggest cleansing. I do suggest clearing. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get any Kipper clarification on this, because this is a pretty intense message. And, you know, with this great black conjunction, we are looking at shadow aspects, you know, things that weren't seen that are coming to the light. 28:33 on the clock when I said that, okay? You know, things have to come up to be cleared out once and for all. There will be a new view of how you're going to move forward after this great black conjunction plays out in your life. You know, there's like a new formation of plans, okay? Yeah, there's some important message coming in, okay? We see that here. There's a message coming in. You're going to be alerted about something. Right after that, there's despair, okay? There's something that comes as heartache to you in this situation. And right behind that is marriage. All right. So this may be where, you know, there was an expectation that you were going to have a connection. Maybe you were, you know, involved in a situation. It was a third party dynamic. It seems like you may be hearing that you're gonna be X'd out of that.